Hi, it's Mrs. Cheney here. Today we're going to do a painting of birds. You're going to choose a bird of your choice. Just find an internet photograph that you can use as a reference photo. Now, what we're looking for is a close-up of a bird. I don't want to paint backgrounds, flights, flying, just a perched bird. Now, you want your photo to be clear. Here I've got great zoomed in feathers. This one, he is adorable, but he's a little blurry. Okay, maybe if you found the same little guy in a different photograph. Here's a really good one. Okay, see what I'm looking for is a close-up bird, a bird of your choice. All right, I found one and I shared it to my drive and he's right here. I don't know what that is. I think it's a bluebird. I don't know my birds. I've got my green piece of paper that I like to use as a background. I've got my little square, my little rectangle piece here. Okay. And I'm going to take my masking tape like I've done before. I like those crisp edges. So I'm going to tape it down. And a little trick to this when you do tape it down. Make sure that you rub it down good because the paint does leak underneath it if you want that crisp edge. And sometimes it does anyway, no matter how much you rub. But a little trick. I think I want to do something different. I want to go square on my composition. So I probably should have cropped my photo over here to help me out. But I think I want to go square. So I'm going to bring my tape up a little bit so you can see my area here that I'm going to paint on. Now, just like before, doing my underpainting, I'm going to pull some water onto my palette. You can't see it because it's clear. I'm going to pull a little umber into it. Okay, and a little burnt sienna into it. My favorite color, and make a wash. And I'm going to use this, I don't have near enough, to stain my paper. To stain my, I just realized I have my canvas upside down. Yep, happens to Mrs. Cheney too. Retape. Bear with me a second. I was like, something's wrong. Not spreading. Okay. And this is why I don't sell my videos on YouTube. This is why no one subscribes to my channel. Because I'm such an expert painter here. I'm a pretty good painter. I'm bad at making videos. Okay. I'm going to try it again. Tape it down. Yeah, one side of your canvas paper, this proves right here that, you know, we're all human and we make mistakes. One side of your canvas paper has the fabric and the other side is primed. Okay, let's see. I want to go square. I do want to go square. Rub it down. Now, hopefully this will paint better. Ta-da! It's actually spreading. What a concept. I was like, oh, I didn't put enough water in that first batch. And then I went to make more and it still didn't spread. I'm like, oh dear, something's wrong. I dirty it up so that I have a really nice toned background so that the harsh white background doesn't interfere with my image. I did not do a very good job of making this straight either. Okay, time to go home. I didn't notice it till I looked up at the camera. Try to get it straighter. And zap it. I mean, honestly, what you're doing is a watercolor wash, right? That's all you're doing. Now, I'm going to take a smaller brush, a round brush, okay? And I'm going to block in my drawing, my image here. I'm going to block in by looking at my bird. Let's see. I'm going to find the middle, like I always do, the middle of my bird, there and there. So right there's the center of my bird. Okay, and give myself a rounded body. And he's got a wing that runs off the page. And he's very fluffy. Okay. So I drew with paint. You saw in the last video that when you make a mistake, you can wash it out. It's not a problem. I'm going to make him on a post. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go for. Give him some little claws. And now I'm going to go in with a darker value and figure out where my darks are. And his wing. Darks in my wing. I am going to have mine sitting on a post. I don't like that tree behind it. It's this cross piece. It's not like believable to me. I don't know. It's kind of weird that it runs into his body. So I'm going to just put him on a post. You know, like how you see a bird sitting on a post sometimes? Yeah, I'm going to go that route. His beak is darker. His eye is about there and darker. Ooh, he looks pissed. I'm going to fatten him up a little bit. Okay. I think I'm about ready. I've got a background started. I've got him drawn in. Okay. Now, the fun part. I am going to put him in a very cold environment. He's very blues and oranges, which I like the blue and the orange complementary colors. But honestly, I collect birds. I like birds. And I don't collect birds. I collect bird artwork. And I think I want to hang him, believe it or not, in my bathroom. So I'm taking some white paint. I know you can't see it here on the camera yet. And I'm going to take some of that light blue color that you guys have in your sets, and a little bit of green too. And I'm going to mix myself. I need tons more than that because I'm going to go thick. Very impasto-like. There we go. And make myself like a blue-green color. And I'm going to make up my background. Okay, I know that the lighting here is really bad. I'm trying to make it where you can see colors a little better. That's worse. Make sure my blinds are closed enough. Okay, I'm going to use this. I think you can see good on here. It's the glare off of my white palette that's having problems. Maybe I should switch my palette color. I am going to do a really fun background, and I'm going to just pounce, 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 pounce. I need to play music on my videos, be more entertaining. You could do like a sped up version, so you don't have to sit and watch Janie paint. I guess you can listen to my voice. Don't you miss me? Of course you miss me. I hope you can't hear my husband in the background. He's talking to the cat, so I will try to talk over him. Now let's put some other colors in here. We're going to put some greens. Only I'm going with this because I want it to look like a cold winter scene, and I also want it to look like the teals of my bathroom. Whoop, drop my brush right in the middle of there. Good job, Janie. And I think I want to pull some browns in, you know, neutralize this a bit. But honestly, I'm just playing, kind of like our cupcake, the way you guys played with the backgrounds. Okay, but I'm looking for a real bird. I want a real bird. I just want to see a lot of texture. Okay. Blues. I'm kind of going every which way. I'm making sure that they aren't like all dashes going in one direction or another. And I'm making sure I don't have like a curve over the head. Does that help a little bit? I don't want to see brush strokes like I just went woo around him. That would be bad. Okay, so sometimes, yeah, sometimes I get the paint on his body, but you get a general feel for where the bird goes. Okay, wash off my brush. Now it's time to move on to his body. I think I'm going to do this belly part here first. Okay, I need a paper towel. I use baby wipes and paper towels more than anything around here. Okay, I'm going to do his belly first, and it's kind of a white color. It blends up to a yellow and then an orange in this area, okay? And it does kind of go under his head. So I'm going to start with my light color, my white, okay? So of course you're probably not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to pull in little feathers. Working from the bottom, I think of it like shingles on a house. When you put shingles on a house, on a rooftop, you put the ones along the closest to the ground first, and then as you go up the rooftop, the shingles overlap. Well, his feathers are kind of like that, okay? The feathers are on top of each other, meaning these are on top of these. So I'm starting at my bottom and I'm working my way up, and then I will continue from there to put the yellows and the oranges. And I'm painting kind of thick. I am using a flat paintbrush. The only difference is I hold it on its side. Okay, so I'm grabbing my paint, add a little water to my white. Been sitting here too long. And then I'm going to start to pull yellow into it. So I dipped right into my yellow paint. I need to turn my palette. So I dipped right into my cadmium yellow. Okay. I don't like how that white right here looks straight. Okay, I've got to pull that down a little bit. And then as I go up, I'm starting to dip into the orange. I did not clean my brush. I'm going to go a little bit brighter than the picture. Rather than that icky brown color, I think I want to put a little more red in it rather than that. But I don't know, we'll play it by ear. Okay, I went down with my brush strokes. I gotta go back up. I'm gonna dip into my cadmium red. It's so hard to paint this tiny. I'm used to painting huge. You can see how easy this is gonna be. I think it's easier than the spoon. A lot more colorful. Okay, so I've got my wing going on. I'm liking that. I don't like this edge right here. Can't see past my hand. That little brown spot showing. I'm going to take some umber. I'm going to give him a little bit of an edge. I want him to look outlined, but I do want to be able to see it. Umber and some blue and brown mixed. Give him a little post he's going to sit on. And let's give him some little white feet. Boop, boop. Okay, really tiny sitting there. Not going to worry about that so much. I just kind of take, you can't see what I'm doing off screen. I take my paper towel and I just like pull the paint off. I don't wash it a whole lot because when I wash it, it makes my paint thin. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on my wings. The only difference is I have to start at the bottom, and the bottom is dark. So I am going to use a little bit of black. Black and blue. I don't want my blue to be so dark, or black to be so dark that it looks black. And I'm going to pull the underside of the feathers on there. Be a little more black. You can always get darker. It's hard to make it lighter. Okay, and then he's got another feather that comes up like that. I need to mix myself a blue that's like not the background and not the color of the bird. Or the color of the... There we go. I think that's about right. So it's... I have phthalo blue, but I put a little bit of white in it, not much. Okay. I think this is called a bluebird. But you can see what I'm doing. Watching Cheney paint gets kind of boring. Okay, and then as I go up the feather, add more black. I tend to put quite a few layers on here. I go up. You can kind of see what I'm doing. It doesn't match the picture exactly. I'm going to put some little light feathers in there too. Some medium feathers in there too. I just keep caking the feathers on. Got a little too much black on my brush, so wiping that brush off and going up that wing. Okay, so I will continue my feather on up. His head, to make this video a little bit shorter, I'm going to put a little bit of blue in his head. And if I look at his feathers, it's kind of like if I could pet this bird like this. All right, so that's the direction that the feathers grow. I would paint all the blue first. I need to pull his orange up into here, but I would paint all the blue first, and then I would put the beak and the eye on last. And the beak is not just plain black. Notice it has a little bit of white on it. The eye has a little bit of white in it. Okay, first I need to fix my feathers in his head. Ooh, I got blue on my brush. Time to wash it, not just wipe it off. I might be fighting that. I might have to let it dry. Yep, it's turning green on me. I gotta pull that up and fix his neck. Okay, I will post a picture on here of my bird. Do a little bit of the head. I wanted to do a little bit of the head for you. So I got my blue and my white, and it goes this direction. If you find that your flat brush is not tiny enough, then switch, you know what I mean? Go to a liner brush, go to a teeny one. But I like to cover large areas, okay? And then go in and pull detail. Okay, my hand keeps getting in your way. But I'm going to keep working on this bird and little details, you know, like he's got a little ridge here. He's got a little white area there. He's got white along the top. You know, I've got to figure out some way of separating the two parts of his beak. I think this photo is pretty easy because half of it's white, half is not. But you're going to get this whole thing painted. You're going to photograph it and upload it to Schoology. I do have to finish the wing. I am far from finished. I probably have another 20 minutes of painting to go.